Golf is one of the worst sports that there is, especially when you have amazing alternatives that someone could go and do. One of those is minigolf, or more specifically, Carnival Mini Golf for the Wii. This game was pretty much my entire childhood, so let's take a look back at Carnival Mini Golf and see how it holds up today, if at all. Our story begins in 2007, where the first Carnival game was ever released, and it performed okay. After that though, we got Carnival Mini Golf. Hooray! And the game itself is mediocre, according to most of the reviews that it got. So, let's start it up and see what we got. The game starts out with this neat animation of you pulling up to the golf course where you get to select either multiplayer or solo. Naturally, I picked solo because I don't have any friends that wanted to suffer through this game either. From here, Carnival Mini Golf allows you to create your own custom character. You are able to fully customize your character with different outfits and clothing. And it's pretty nice. After you do this and finally set up your character, you can finally start playing the game. The game itself is broken into 9 themed areas, with each one having 3 courses to play through. One being a regular mini golf course where your job is just to get to the end, and the other 2 being a challenge mode and a trick shot. Trick shots requiring you to make a really tough shot, and challenge modes just having a fun gimmick with them. With 3 of these courses locked at the start of the game, let's take a look at the first area, Tella. Tella is the game's candy-themed level, and the game considers it to be a pretty easy course. When you select a course, you either get to pick to play it true solo, or you get to play against the Barker. In order to actually make any real progress, you have to go against the Barker, so solo isn't really needed very often, unless you want to get like a high score or something. The normal course for this one is pretty much a straight shot downhill, with a side ramp that if you get into, lets you play a minigame for this hole. All the normal courses have a minigame that you can hit into and instantly get a hole-in-one. This one's is really simple, as it's just a memorization game where you have to remember which order the gnomes show up, and you have to do it about 3 or 4 times to instantly win. Nothing too difficult here. The challenge course is up next, and it's the same thing again, but this time with a mandatory pinball section to earn some coins. For whatever reason, the ball can still bounce up while it's in the pinball section, so I am wondering if you can possibly hit it outside the map, but that's for somebody else to try and not me. The only other thing with this course is after you get through the pinballs, all you have to do is hit your ball towards some lily pads, and you'll go right in the hole. The trick shot for this course is also really simple. All you have to do is hit the ball right off this ramp and hit a giant flower, and it'll go right in the hole most of the time, so long as you hit it with enough power. Nothing really special here, but don't worry, the game's gonna get a lot harder once we get past the easy courses. The next of the easy course is Old McDoodle's Farm. See what they did there? That's comedy. The normal hole for this one is once again going straight downhill, but the minigame is different. This time you have to go and get some eggs into a basket to score a hole-in-one. Other than that, there's really not much else to say. The challenge and trick shots, though, are where things start getting a little bit more interesting. The trick shot for this has you listening to a musical note played by Old McDoodle himself, and hitting your golf ball into the correct jug that matches the sound. It's a neat little minigame, nothing insane, and I kinda like it. The challenge course here has you hitting giant eggs to find where the hole is hidden, and hitting a giant egg in the middle just spawns more eggs. There's only about 2 or 3 places that the hole will actually ever spawn though, so it's not too bad. Except it is. So let's take a brief moment here to talk about the Barker. Because he knows exactly where the hole is, all of the time, and will almost always make the perfect shot, unless the AI decides it wants to be generous today. He is straight up a god at his game. This, on its own, wouldn't be too bad. Just need to wait for him to make a mistake and you're good, right? Well, no, not really, because in order to actually win, you have to make it in the hole and hope the Barker doesn't follow through and make it in the hole as well. As if you both hit a tie, you lose, making every single hole against the Barker 8 times harder. Moving on from Old McDoodle's Farm, we go to Prehistoria. And this one is another easy course based off of dinosaurs. So, yeah, it's neat. The normal course for this one is unbeatable, at least for me. You can win if you go and get the minigame and actually complete it, which is basically just Flappy Bird but with a dinosaur. But if you choose to forego the minigame and actually try to beat the Barker, it's impossible, because he will always make it on the hole in the same shot you do, because it only takes about 2 hits to complete the course. So it's kind of impossible. At least I wasn't able to do it in the time I dedicated to this singular course. The trick shot here is a guessing game. There's a bunch of lanes you have to pick from, and only one will let you win. The way the Barker is programmed here is actually to your benefit, because for his first couple of shots, he will never get a hole-in-one. He will purposely miss, allowing you, the player, to figure out which one you actually need to hit in order to win. At least I never saw him try and get a hole-in-one, so I'm just assuming he will. But overall, I did enjoy this course. This one was actually kind of fun. The challenge course for this one is just pachinko. You hit the ball and hope it ends up in the correct place. If it ends up in the middle, you get a hole-in-one. If it doesn't, then you just go off a little bit behind the hole. It's fun, nothing too crazy. Now we move on to the medium courses, and this is where things go from easy child's play to quite a bit harder. The King's Court is one of the easiest out of the medium courses, and it's medieval themed. The standard course is finally more than just going straight downhill. I mean, there is a little bit of going downhill, but not as much as there was. This time you have to hit your golf ball off to the side on the moving down platforms to enter the minigame. And here you'll play this really cool trampoline minigame where you have to get whatever the catapult throws at you across to the other side, and avoid the bombs that it might throw on you. Overall, I'd rate this probably an 8 out of 10 for these kinds of minigames. This one was fun and unique. The trick shot for this course is also not that bad. You just need to line up your shot with this ramp and hope you have enough power to make it into the hole. And that hole will take you to the real one, and you'll complete the course. The challenge course here is also really interesting, as you're going in a straight line trying to avoid this gauntlet of spinning plates that will send your ball in different directions. And you also get a mini game at the end where you have to shake your Wii remote to lower the bridge. It's a little weird, but interesting enough. We also have this very interesting moment of the Barker turning off his AI brain to do whatever this is. In the middle of the difficulty for medium courses, we have the Pirate's Delight. It's a really nice pirate-themed area. The normal course for this one, though, is horrible. You can just do this. And that pretty much skips the entire course, without much skill actually needing to play the minigame. The minigame itself is you just shooting across the ocean and hitting another ship. The other ship barely hits, so it's basically a free hole-in-one. The rest of the map, though, has interesting stuff, like a cool crab minigame. You'll just probably never see it. The trick shot course, though, is much better. You have to hit the ball into one of these 3 clams using a ramp, and you have to hit it with just the right time because each clam opens and closes at a different set time. So, I like this one. And the challenge course here is where things start to get kinda hard. You have to hit the ball up into the ledge without it either rolling to the other side or falling through one of the many holes. The Barker is also insane here too. He will always hit the ball just right to make it to the top of the ledge, and it's super easy for him to either match you or just win. The last of the medium courses, though, is the Wild West. And once again, the normal course is worthless, as the minigame is right up front and really easy to hit. This minigame is also even easier than the Pirates. All you have to do is use your phase blaster to shoot some ghosts and stop them from actually hitting your golf ball, and it's just a scroll shooter. The rest of the course, if you decide to skip this, is also kinda eh. There's a cool trick shot later on, but eh. The trick shot for this one, though, is actually one of the best, as getting a perfect shot is kinda hard. You have to hit it over the ledge and aim just right so that the turn on the uphill doesn't send it in a direction you don't want it to be. This one, not even the Barker was really good at, So it was nice to actually play an entertaining game of mini golf for once. Moving right along though to the challenge course, this one is kinda eh. There's a bunch of dynamite around the map, and certain ones will instantly get you a hole in one, and others won't unless you're really lucky and the ball happens to fly in the correct direction. I managed to do it in one single hit, followed by the Barker doing the exact same thing, instantly invalidating anything that I just did, making this course really just unfun. Last but not least, we have the 3 hard maps. This is where things really take off. The first hard map actually unlocked is the one that I think is the hardest, so we'll save that one for last. Moving on though to the easiest of the hard modes is the Spookorama. It's a horror-themed map and the normal course is actually pretty good. The minigame here actually takes some skill to actually get into, as you have to hit it off the edge and land directly into the middle. The minigame itself, though, is just another shooter like the Wild West, so it's not very hard if you do get it in. The rest of the track is okay. There's some zombie hands that'll drag your ball away, and some actual environmental hazards, which are really nice. This is also one of the first courses that I can say with 100% certainty actually looks really nice to look at. The theme is nice, and the textures and everything else I really like too. In exchange for a really nice normal course though for once, the trick shot is not so good. All you need to do is hit the ball in a straightish line while avoiding getting blown away by the trees. So basically all you have to do for this one is hit the ball as hard as possible and you'll complete the course. Not really much of a trick shot. The challenge hole is also not that challenging, but it is a nice course. You just have to hit this ball into a witch's pot and get over a super steep hill and through a windmill. It's shockingly standard, but I like it. The next course is the Amazion. It's Amazon themed with Mayan temples. I don't think those are supposed to be here, but okay. The normal course for this one is probably the best looking in the game and feels really nice to play. It isn't too hard to get the minigame, and the minigame is also one of the best one in here. It's basically Guitar Hero with bongos, and you just have to hit the buttons as they match up on the thing. I like this one a lot, and it's probably one of the most fun minigames that was actually in this game. The rest of the course has some cool spears that will stop your ball and send you backwards, and some lava pits, giving it the most hazards out of pretty much any other level besides one, but we'll get there. The trick shot here is also really good. You have to hit the golf ball across a collapsing bridge, and if you're not careful and hit it too far or too short, the bridge will collapse on it and it will roll back, making this probably one of my favorite trick shots in the actual game. The challenge course here is kind of lackluster. It's hit the ball into the giant mouth and then hit the ball completely straight. There's not a lot here. The last course in the entire game though is Ra's Revenge. It's an Egyptian themed map and is by far the hardest course in this game. The main course takes you into the sky, meaning that if you mess up a single shot, you need to go all the way back to where you shot from and try again. And to get around, you have to hit your ball off ramps into portals. This is probably one of the hardest things that I've ever tried to do, and as a kid I couldn't do it, and as an adult, I still can't do it. So enjoy this gameplay of the Barker doing what I cannot. The minigame here is also really neat, if I could actually get around to playing it, but I can't make this shot. It's basically a maze where you have to tilt the maze around and get your golf ball to the end. I like this one a lot. Not as much as the Guitar Hero one from the Amazon, but definitely second place. The trick shot for this course is also nothing to sneeze at, as it requires a perfectly precise shot to get over 2 hills and not roll into the alligators in the back. So if your shot is not perfect, you will not get through this level, making it probably the second best trick shot actually in the game. The challenge course here, like the last couple, is kind of really simple. All you have to do is hit the ball into the correct door, which is usually the one that is the harder shot, and it'll bring you right to the hole. Nothing crazy. If you aren't careful though, and decide to take all the easy shots or miss, you'll get stuck in an infinite loop till you run out of hits. And with that, that's all the courses within this game. Carnival Mini Golf is definitely one of my childhood favorite games. And now, as an adult playing it, I don't want to ever touch this game again. This game is exactly what reviewers said. It's okay. There's nothing too insane about it and nothing that I absolutely hate. It is just a game that you can play.